everyone. Indian fever. You can be part of the fun. You're the winner at every game. That's where the excitement begins. So catch Indian fever. Be a believer with the Cleveland Indians. Indian fever.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the January 31st, 2019 Lake County Sentinel podcast. I'm your host, Tim Shirer, publisher and sports editor of the Lake County Sentinel. If you want to email us a question for the podcast, you can email it to lcsentinelpodcast@gmail.com. That's just for the podcast. That's for nothing else. That's all we use it for. And if you want to email us, go ahead and we'll answer your question on the air or discuss what you have to say about sports or about politics. We know political people love to talk. So we'll start tonight with the upcoming schedules for our teams, the Cleveland teams and Lake County teams. And then we'll have a special guest, Philip Goff. Susan, I said it right. Philip. We'll talk to Philip after we go over the schedules and we give our stock market report. So the Cavs will be in action on Saturday against the Dallas Mavericks at the Q. There may be some new people in uniform for both teams that day or that night. Kristaps Porzingis, I'm not sure if he will join the Mavericks by that point, but he was traded there today by the New York Knicks. They traded the Mavericks, Courtney Lee, Tim Hardaway Jr., Trey Burke, and Kristaps Porzingis for Dennis Smith Jr., DeAndre Jordan, and Wesley Matthews, and 2 future first-round draft picks. I think the draft picks are probably what the Knicks are interested in more than anything, but none of us really have to be interested because one thing we'll know is the Knicks will blow it. That's what they do because they are the New York Knicks and they are owned by the really bad Dolans. The Cleveland Dolans are very good compared to the Dolans of New York. So that's Porzingis may be in uniform for the Mavericks on Saturday. With NBA rules, you never know, though. He might have 3 weeks to report. Kevin Love could be in uniform for the Cavs. He practiced full today, a scrimmage, which is great to see Kevin Love practice fully with the team. They have not looked bad lately. They've definitely looked better since Larry Nance came back. Ante Zizic is playing very well at center. His minutes will get cut when Love comes back. But Colin Sexton's he's not looked great lately, but he's a rookie. Jetty Osmond's looked good. Alec Burks played well. And as I said, Larry Nance coming back, that's helped a lot. And Dellavedova being back too has helped a lot. So let's move on now. We'll go to the Monsters are on the road Friday against Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins in Wilkes-Barre Scranton. This name always makes me laugh. It's just what. Let's add a couple more names to their name.
Right.
I swear when I was a kid, it was Scranton Wilkes-Barre. I think they changed it. But they'll be there on Friday night, and hopefully they'll start winning a little bit. We're going to talk with Philip about that. The Icebreakers are going to be in Elmira, New York, against the Elmira Enforcers on Friday at 7:05. They're mired in last place in the Federal Hockey League. They're an expansion team. It can be expected. I believe the 3 teams at the bottom are all expansion teams. So, it's tough being an expansion team and being successful, but they've had moments this year where they've been good. And the Menor Ice Arena is a very nice place. As I've said in the past, I went there skating once when I was younger and spent most of my time on the ice because I can't stand up on skates. So that's not good. Well, before we get to Phil, we'll do our stock market report. The market closed down today, 15.19 points to close at 24,999.67. In our tracker, at this point of the Obama administration, the market was up 3,891.93 points for a 32.72% gain. Under Donald Trump, it's up 5,000 points, 5,087.67 points for a 20.35% gain. So obviously, still at this point, it was up percentage-wise more under Obama than it has been under Donald Trump. But that's all the politics we're going to talk tonight. We're going to get to hockey and traveling. We're going to. Philip Goff is here with us tonight.
Thank you
Welcome,
for having
Philip.
me again. It's always a pleasure.
Tell me about. Let's start with the trip. Philip's dad works over in the Middle East, in Saudi Arabia, as a civilian for the military, and his family went first to Germany over Christmas break. Then they went to Saudi Arabia, Riyadh. Is that Riyadh?
Correct.
That's how you say it?
Riyadh.
Riyadh.
Yep.
Okay. Philip, you were born in Germany.
Yep.
Did you go to where you were born?
Yes, we did. We actually went to the house that my mom and dad lived in when I was born. My mom insisted on getting a
So
picture.
you lived in it too?
Yeah, I lived in it. So my mom insisted of getting a picture. The lady that was living in it at the time had no idea what English was. Like, she didn't know how to speak it. And so my sister brought up the phone. She got out Google Translate and put it into German. And so my mom, she put in the phone, hey, can you take a picture? This is where I used to live. And the lady's like, yeah, sure. So my mom took a picture in front of the old house, which I think was pretty cool. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yep.
What city is that in Germany?
It is Gumsheim, I believe, is what she lived in.
Are there a couple dots above the eyes? Or the
I
E's?
have no idea. Yeah. But it's the big town right around there is Bad Kreuznach, which is where we stayed for a couple days there, which was absolutely amazing. I loved it.
You went to Austria too, right?
Yes, we did. So when
those pictures your mom put out, oh my God.
I was amazed. So we went down to the Alps for I believe 2 days, and one of the days we were down there, my mom's like, hey, why not we'll go jump on the train and go to Austria? So because I've been to Austria before when I was a baby, but my sister's never been. So she's like, okay, I want to get another country. So I was like, okay, let's go to Austria. So we jumped on the train. It was about a 45-minute train ride to Austria, to Innsbruck, Austria.
Innsbruck.
And it's
the Olympics.
Yes, exactly. We actually passed, I think I don't know what it was, where they ski down the hill and
the ski jumping.
Yeah, ski jumping.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
We went past that, which I'm like, oh, that is really cool.
Wow.
But it was beautiful. Everywhere you look, you're just surrounded by mountains, and it's just absolutely gorgeous.
The one picture your mom put on Facebook of you, I don't know, her and your sister Izzy were standing, like, it looked like in the street, and the town looked like it was not big, but there were mountains in the back.
Oh, yeah.
I was just like, this looks like the perfect place.
Oh,
in the world.
It was absolutely gorgeous. Everywhere you look, you're surrounded by mountains. It's like right in the middle of the valley. So it's left, right, behind you, in front of you. You had mountains everywhere, and it was just absolutely gorgeous. I loved it.
It just looked amazing to me in pictures.
Oh, yes.
I can imagine being there.
It was phenomenal.
And then you went from snow to Saudi Arabia.
I know, yeah. It's
where
very
they've
nice.
never seen snow.
Well, they've seen snow, but once the sun rises, it's pretty much gone.
So what were the temperatures there?
It was between 70 and 80. I think the
That's
highest.
Are they in winter?
Yes, they are in winter.
Okay.
So the 80s, I think the highest was like 85 or 86 when we were there. So it was really nice. I got to sit up on top of my dad's house and just enjoy the rays of sunshine, knowing I'd come back here when it was.
How are
20
his
degrees.
cucumbers growing?
They're doing actually pretty good.
I was very envious in the picture.
His old garden is actually pretty cool considering it's all made of.
Are you guys? Is he in the same house?
No, he's not.
Okay,
He's in
it's
a
a
different one.
Okay.
Yep. But it's pretty much the same. It's just everything is switched from one side to the next. It's the same house, same layout and everything, but just different house.
And so it was great there. I mean,
oh my gosh!
How long were you guys in Saudi Arabia?
A week and a half, I believe. So I think we spent a total of like 3 weeks overseas. So a week and a half in Germany and then a week and a half in Saudi Arabia. So
tell the people who are listening, and hopefully some people are listening, but tell them about the camels.
Oh, so we went out desert diamond hunting. So we went to the middle of the desert, and in the mountains there are these diamonds that have formed from millions of years ago. And so we went out there, and went and looking for the diamonds, because then we'd go back to Riyadh. We'd go to this special place and they'd cut them up and they'd like make bracelets and necklaces and earrings and such like that. And so we had one of my dad's interpreters he's American, but he's Middle Eastern American.
Okay.
So he knows how to speak Arabic.
Okay.
So my mom was like, "Oh, we saw camels. Can we go see if we can like pet the camels?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, come on." So we went over with him. He started talking to the camel herders in Arabic, and he's telling, "Hey, can we come pet the camels and take pictures with them?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure, come on over." And the camels were absolutely beautiful. They were like smiling, like they would follow us around the fence, smiling, and like you could just tell that they were happy to see. Like,
did the one camel lick your mom on the head?
Yes. So I believe we were taking the pictures, and the camel went down and kissed my mom right on the head. I think she got a picture of it, and that was.
I think the picture I saw on Facebook was like right after her reaction.
Yes.
That is so cool.
It was absolutely.
But then you saw a pickup truck.
Yes.
With people transporting camels in a pickup truck.
Yes, there was a.
How is that possible? They don't look that big. They look big.
Honestly,
how can they fit in a pickup truck?
I have no idea. It was a small pickup truck, and my dad was talking about the whole trip. He's like, "Okay, I really want you guys to see them put 2 or 3 camels in the back of a really small pickup truck." It's like we never got the chance, and we're finally going home. My dad's like, "Oh my gosh, look over there! There it is!" And there's 2 big camels and a tiny little pickup truck. And I'm just like, wow, that's amazing. I can't believe what they just did.
That's the cool. When you texted that to me, I was like, yeah, that's just weird.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Exactly.
How can a camel fit in a pickup truck?
I'm still amazed how they were able to do it. It's really cool, honestly.
That is like the coolest thing. And I'm sure spending the time with your dad was great. You know, and he's doing good.
Yes,
he's doing really well over there.
Yep.
And I know he comments on my tweets every once in a while. And so I'm glad you guys had a good time over there.
It's really nice.
That's awesome. To get to see the world like
I know. Hopefully in the summertime we're hoping to plan a trip to Norway, Sweden, and maybe Denmark as well. Okay. So hopefully we'll do that depending on my school schedule.
Have you ever been to Central America or South America?
No, I have not.
You've been to a lot of other continents.
I've been North America, Europe, and I'd count Saudi Arabia as Asia.
Well, when I was a kid, it was Eurasia.
Yeah, it's right in the middle. So I really don't know how to count it yet. I kind of want to go to Africa.
Okay.
I mean, being so close to Saudi Arabia, I kind of want to do that as well. Okay. My dad being over there, but it's really cool being able to travel and see the world.
That's neat. I mean, I love when you guys post pictures because it's like, oh my God, this is so cool.
Yep. It gives me a total different view on what the world actually is.
I mean, and your mom, like, that your mom's been all these places. It's like your mom came from like the same place like I did.
Yeah.
Here in Wycliffe.
Yeah.
Little Wycliffe.
Yep.
And your mom's been all over the world.
Yeah, it's
just so cool.
It's really cool.
Know that that's possible for people. They can do it if they want to do it.
Exactly.
It's possible.
Yep.
To see the world.
Yeah, exactly. It's not bad at all. I mean, there's so much things out there like Airbnbs. You can rent out a house for $60-$70 a night. I mean,
do you think if just regular everyday people were able to travel, we'll get to the Monsters right after this and the Blue Jackets, but I know that's this question. Do you think if people were able to travel the world regularly, just to go places, there would be a lot less conflict?
Honestly, I think so, because people get the view of, they see stuff in the news, like a certain type of group, for instance, and then they think everybody in that group's bad.
They don't understand it.
They don't understand it. Like going to the Middle East, everybody over there is so generous. Like whenever we went to the people's houses, they're like, here, eat this food. Here, have this, have this. And like in their culture, if you say, oh my gosh, this is really nice. Like the first time we went to Saudi Arabia, we went over to one of my dad's generals, his friend, and my mom's like, wow, your family tree is really nice. He gets the family tree, takes it off the wall, and is trying to give it to my mom to take home. Wow. And my dad's like, no. My mom's like, no, please, no. The people over there are they're amazing. I mean,
they're not what
people say. It's the 1% that make them bad. I mean,
that's
exactly.
So that's good to know. I wish more people would understand that. On both sides, not politically, either side messes up and says the wrong thing about certain groups, and I'm guilty of it. I know I am at times. So, but okay, let's talk about the Blue Jackets. You went down the other night.
Yep.
And tell us exactly why you went down.
So I get a text around 10 o'clock. What was it? Tuesday, I believe it was. And from the equipment guy, from the Cleveland Monsters equipment guy. He's like, hey, a guy just got called up. We need his gear down in Columbus. Would you like to do it? I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. So I had to go out to the practice rink, which is located out in Strongsville, get all his gear together and put it in my car, and then head down to Columbus. So I got down to Columbus around 2:30ish. And so I got there, set up all the gear, and then their equipment guys like, hey, you want some food? So I'm like, yeah, sure. And you show me the whole locker room, and then I get some food. It's salmon, it's steak, chicken, pasta. I'm just kind of like, whoa, I've never seen this before. I mean, this is amazing. A rookie
they better at the pro level,
100%.
At the major league level, I should say.
Yes.
Or NHL level.
If a guy really wanted, I don't think he would have to buy any food for his house because he can just get it all while he's practicing because they give him
Do
lunch.
they get meal money like they do when they're on the road, like they do in baseball?
Yes,
okay.
Yep, they get per diem money. Okay. So it's always nice. So then they set me up with tickets, and then they set me up with a hotel for the night, and I was able to watch the Columbus game, which was really cool. Sadly, they were unable to win. I think it was 5-4 that they lost.
Yeah.
But
they came back. They tied it, right?
They did. They tied it 4-4, and then I think going into the third period, Buffalo ended up scoring, and that pretty much ended it right there for them.
But now, when you were traveling growing up, obviously now you're a Blue Jackets fan somewhat.
Yep.
Growing up, were you a Sabres fan because your dad is from Buffalo and your dad was a Sabres fan, or I know you were an Avalanche fan a little bit there.
So back when we lived in Vermont, I was a really big Anaheim Ducks fan. I don't know why. I think I like Teemu Selanne, Paul Kariya.
All right.
Actually, I don't know. Wait.
I bet you he was on there.
Losing.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Paul Kariya. I really like Paul Kariya, and I really like their jerseys. So it's like every time it was like 10 o'clock at night, the game was coming on. My dad, I'm like, Dad, can we watch the game? Can we watch the game? He's like, you got to go to bed. It's 10 o'clock because it's 7 o'clock out on the West Coast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so I was a little bit Anaheim Ducks fan. I was also San Jose because the Cleveland Barons were affiliated with the San Jose Sharks. So, and then the Monsters were the Avalanche. So I'm sort of like, okay, I'm sort of liking the Avalanche now.
Yeah.
And now,
for people that don't know, your grandfather was he was an assistant or the equipment man for years.
Oh, for 60 plus years.
Yeah.
To be exact.
Yeah. I mean, so that's why you were a fan of the Cleveland hockey team, whatever it was, because your grandpa was affiliated with
them. And then the reason why I like different NHL teams is because I would say, oh, yeah, I know this guy. He played in Cleveland, so I know him playing in the NHL for this team. So I like the team. I mean, I really don't have a favorite team per se. It's pretty much I just love the game of hockey.
It's almost better than having a favorite team.
Exactly.
Because you could root for anybody on any night.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know? And
so it's I know so many people around the NHL, like the GM for the San Jose Sharks. We know him from his time in Cleveland. I mean, Patrick Marleau,
the coach of the Rockies.
Yep, coach of the Avalanche. Jared Bednar and the assistant
coach.
Avalanche
Rockies.
Yep.
Jeez.
Jared Bednar.
He was the coach when they won the Calder Cup.
And his assistant coach was also here. The head coach for the New York Rangers, David Quinn, was here as well.
I remember him.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And so, I think, the head scout for the Colorado Avalanche, we know as well, David Oliver. So it's.
Do you think? I guess we'll switch it a little here. Get to some of the players.
Okay.
Do you think that Korpisalo will be the goaltender next year?
That's a tough question, honestly.
Or will they sign somebody?
I think
Bob's probably going to be gone. Right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Listening to John Davidson's comments when he got suspended, they were pretty flat out. From what I interpreted from watching it, was you belong to us now. You can do what you want after the season. It pretty much sounded to me like if he goes, they're not too upset about it. That's just what I took from it.
Yeah, we'll see what Jarmo does by the trade deadline. Jarmo is really smart.
Oh, you think it could even?
He could do something. Jarmo is really smart. He's really done well turning the Columbus around the past couple years.
Wasn't he with St. Louis? Davidson was with St. Louis.
He might have.
Didn't he work under him?
He might have.
In St. Louis when they kind of rebuilt.
Sure, 100% sure. But
so
Jarmo's really done well drafting guys and being able to find guys in the later rounds.
And those two have done a really good job since they got.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
You look at some of the players now. You have Josh Anderson, who really wasn't the high-end draft pick, and who's now playing a really big role at Columbus. Korpisalo as well, being the backup goalie. Marcus Hannikainen, guys like that, the role players, Sedlak. They find them later in the draft, and they develop them down in Cleveland, and they're doing really well.
I mean, before those two took the front office jobs, I felt like the Blue Jackets were a mirror image of the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
It was a disaster.
Yep.
Like they would look like maybe they were going to be good,
Mm-hmm.
and then it'd be bad.
Mm-hmm.
And they change coaches all the time.
Yep.
You know, and then they came in and they stabilized things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it just really it proves the point in sports that you need stability.
Oh yeah, exactly.
To be good.
Big time. Yep.
Any team in sports that's good, it's stable.
Yep.
All those years they were not stable,
Mm-hmm.
and now they've got stability. And what do? They're good.
Yep.
You know,
they're doing really good.
So now let's get a little bit to the monsters.
Okay.
One Blue Jackets thing. I saw a cool thing, a video the other night, and I think it was at the game you were at. There was a girl in the crowd that had a sign. She was right by the boards. She had a sign that said, "My dad, or your Nick Foligno, your dad gave my dad his stick. Could I have yours?" And he went over there and he over the boards and he gave it to her. I was like, that is the coolest
Nick
thing.
Foligno is one of the best captains, one of the best leaders I've ever seen. So I'm walking out of the locker room, coming back from getting dinner, and he's a little bit ahead of me, and I'm walking towards like the exit, and he's waiting by the door with the door open to let me out. And then after we're done, he comes up, he's like, "Hi, I'm Nick. Nice to meet you." I'm like, "Hi, I'm Phil. I'm from Cleveland." I'm like, and he just starts talking to me. I'm like, wow, you don't really see a lot of other sports guys just hold the door open to begin with and then introduce themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just a great leader. He's a really good guy.
That's
really
how you know people are nice people when they don't assume you know them.
Yeah. Yep.
Two people that surprised me that I met, like I knew who they were.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But they didn't think I did. One was I was at a Browns game, walking out of the tunnel before the game when you used to be able to go out on the field.
Yeah.
I think it was 2001 or 2. And I'm walking next to this guy. He's got a hoodie on. He's about my height. And he turns and he looks at me, and I look at him, and he's like, puts his hand out. He says, "I'm Bill." That's Bill Belichick. He shakes my hand, and I told him who I was, and he says, he saw my thing around my neck, and he's like, "Oh, media," and he laughed. Bill Belichick actually could laugh.
Yeah, that's
people. Yeah,
people don't see that really
exactly.
often.
And then when I was at the, it was Gund Arena then, after Cleveland Rockers Media Day, me and my dad are in an elevator, and the door opens, and later that night there was a concert. The guy gets on, and he looks at my dad and I, and he puts his hand out and he shakes both our hands. He says, "I'm Paul." He was Paul McCartney.
Oh my goodness!
Like, and he acted like, "You might not know who I am.
Yeah.
I'm Paul."
Yeah.
Like, and he was nice. He was really nice.
Exactly.
It's like that's how you know people are nice when they don't assume that that you know who they are. And Nick Foligno, he seems like a really good guy.
He's amazing. I really like him as a hockey player and more as a person now that I've finally got a chance to actually meet him.
I mean, he's the face of the franchise almost.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know,
he's captain and well, he's a good leader. I mean, he's in all the commercials you see, like Papa John's commercials.
Yeah.
He's in the Papa John's commercials you see all the time. So
and what's the one?
Really cool.
What's the pizza called?
Foligno's favorite. I
believe.
that's the one that's
wasn't there one
right
that
now.
was like an enforcer too or something like?
Oh, like the 4 cheese blend.
Didn't he get in a fight with his brother the other night? Like a week and a half ago.
I don't know. Exactly.
He did during the game. Not like a big fight, but
Marcus,
and they said at the intermission they asked him about it, and he said it's not the first fight we've been in. So it's like I love it. That, hockey brothers. I'm sure there were a few.
Yep.
But so okay, let's get to the monsters.
Okay.
We got about 6 minutes left. I give the schedule every night, and I give an update on where they are in the standings. And just from my perspective, not knowing anything, except what you and your dad tell me.
Yep.
They've not performed up to what it seems like they should have, to me. They were in second place, and now they're in fifth, and they were in sixth. And they might have even been in seventh.
Yeah, close around there,
What's going on? Why?
I'd say injuries have hit. A lot of injuries have hit the Monsters and Columbus. So
guys go up.
Columbus is calling guys up, all sorts of guys up. Cole Sherwood, for example, Eric Robinson have been called up this year. Mark Letestu, whose gear I brought down there.
Oh, okay.
Are all getting called up right now. And then back with Cleveland, the goalies. Some of the goalies are getting hurt.
Oh, okay.
Yep, Berube was hurt for a couple games. I believe Kavlenix was out for a little bit. And then we had to sign a guy. And then Brad Thiessen, who's a really good goalie. He came in, played some games for us. He's a really good guy. I really like Brad, by the way. So he's cool. But yeah, injuries have hit. It's still a young team.
Okay.
Last year was really young. Those guys are coming back for their second year. It's
okay. I figured
really
something
young.
must have happened because when you were on last, I believe the end of November, maybe you had said that you thought they'd be really good.
Yeah,
and they were at that time, and then they fell. So injuries with Columbus and injuries with them.
Yep.
So that they lose guys because that are injured, and then guys get called up. So instead of like losing 3 guys, they lose 6.
Exactly.
So do they have a team they call guys up from?
I'm not 100% sure.
This isn't like baseball,
I think they have an ECHL team.
Okay.
I don't know if there's an affiliate of Columbus who they have an ECHL team. I think they just send players out wherever. I think they go down to Jacksonville, I believe, is where we send our guys, and we bring guys up when they need them. So, but yeah, they go out pretty much throughout the whole ECHL. I know a couple teams, like for instance, you have Detroit Red Wings NHL, you have Grand Rapids Griffins for the AHL, and then you have the Toledo Walleye for their ECHL team.
Oh, okay.
So all the players that the Grand Rapids has, they call up from Toledo.
But Cleveland doesn't have one.
I don't believe so at this time, no.
Okay.
So there's a couple teams out there that would be pretty cool for us. For instance, Cincinnati would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Considering
3 Ohio teams and then Cincinnati. You have Cincinnati and then Columbus and then Cleveland right up along the line.
Yeah.
So.
Are they what's Cincinnati in?
The ECHL.
Oh, the ECHL.
Yep,
okay,
yep.
so they are.
They are in the
Did they
ECHL.
used to have a team in the IHL?
I'm not sure, but I think they had a team in the AHL because I
Okay.
remember when we lived down in Kentucky, we'd always go up and watch the Barons play.
Okay.
Up in Cincinnati, I think it was Cincinnati Mighty Ducks. It might have been.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So,
I remember them having a team, but I didn't know what league it was in.
It might have been the AHL.
The NHL never tried to get in Cincinnati.
I don't think so. No.
Right.
I mean, I like Columbus Central.
Yeah, I think it's a good. I think it was a good choice by the NHL.
Yeah. I think Cleveland's a really good AHL team destination, for instance.
People's always bring up and get an NHL team. I don't think the city could support an NHL team.
No, I don't.
Ticket prices are a lot higher.
Exactly. I mean, you look at, for instance, the Indians. I mean, they're doing really good. They've won, I don't know how many Central Division
3 in a row.
3 in a row.
Yeah.
And I mean, what are they pulling?
You're right. The attendance isn't great.
Exactly.
If they're not going to support a Major League Baseball team, will they support an NHL team?
Exactly.
The Cavs have done surprisingly well in attendance this year.
I've seen that.
I think they're averaging like 16,000, which is amazing.
Yeah.
When you lost LeBron James and you're 11-41. So, So you think that Monsters will get on track?
I think they'll get on track.
How many teams make the playoffs?
I'm not 100% sure. I think it's 4 from each division.
Okay,
so I
4
think
from each division.
Yeah, I know the division right now is very tight. It might be
the North.
Yep, 6 or 7 points from where we are to like first place.
And I know it's the AHL, but I like to say it like the what's his name? Pierre Maguire? Is that on?
Yep.
The American League.
Yes.
I think it's so great how he calls it the American League. So that's what I call it whenever I give the update. The American League.
Yep.
The Monsters in the American League North.
Yeah, this road trip that they're on right now, they left today. They should get back probably a week from today as well. They play Charlotte, who I think is the top team in the AHL.
Are they the Checkers?
Yes, the Charlotte Checkers. Yep.
I knew that.
There we go. So that's a really tough team, and to go in there, maybe pull out 2 wins from there, that would be really huge. And then Wilkes-Barre tomorrow, and then I believe Syracuse on Saturday.
That was the thing that was disappointing to me too. Is they lost to bad teams. Utica.
Yeah,
they were in dead last.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you lose to the bad teams, you beat the good teams. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it should be. We'll see. This week should be pretty good, and then we got home games the 9th and 10th, so that should be. It's when I go back to work, so it should be good. I think Belleville comes to town, so it should be a good game.
Oh, okay.
Belleville Senators. So.
They're okay, and the Laval Rocket.
Laval Rockets.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you for being here tonight,
Thanks
Phil.
for having me. It's always fun.
Yeah, it was great talking to you. Great hearing about the trip.
Oh, yeah.
And your experience in Columbus is awesome.
Yes, that was great.
So we'll have you on again.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. And that's it for tonight. Everybody have a good night. Stay warm. Temperatures are going up. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you.